Alright, people. So I thought this was a very shitty ass episode of Raw tonight. I mean, the wrestling was putrid. It was horrible. Just boring ass wrestling tonight. You know, they're really struggling, this company is, especially the Raws are just so fucking bad. It's just getting unbearable almost with this fucking company. But let's get into the review here. To get the show started off, we have John Cena and Ryback and the Authority coming out to cut a promo. I didn't think it was that bad a way to start off the show. I thought it was a pretty decent way, pretty good way to start off the show here. It took a little bit to get going because like the first 10 minutes they were just announcing basic shit. Um, and then, they started getting into it a little bit more. Cena called Mark Henry a sellout sexual chocolate, which was kind of funny. Actually funny, surprisingly. That's your 1/100 of Cena's jokes being actually funny right there. Probably more like 1 in 500 actually. And then Ryback, they're trying to get Ryback, the Authority is, and shit. I tweeted this out. I thought it would have been a good idea if Stephanie would have tried to seduce Ryback. Just an idea thrown out there. But then Ryback spinebuster Cena, and they're like, he joins the Authority. He joins the Authority. When he said like, yeah, I don't work for the Authority, or I'm not part of the Authority. And then he's like, also John Cena is not on my paycheck. So they're like, how do you know he joined the Authority? Just because he's spinebuster Cena doesn't mean he's on the Authority. So I didn't get where they were coming from there, but I mean, I thought it was a pretty good way to start off the show there. So yeah, then we get Rollins defeating Swagger in a boring match. I expected this to be much better because these two wrestlers are not that bad, especially Rollins, who's a pretty good wrestler. But it was boring. I gave it 1 out of 5 stars. And then, after the match, it's just not that good a match. I mean, there was like 2 good moves maybe. I mean, I remember there was a good counter there with Swagger into the Patriot Lock. And then after the match, during the match, you get Swagger getting pushed into the steel post and then getting curb stomped twice. And now he's out. Like, that's really what you're going to do to put him out of action? That's what he gets. He runs into a pole, a steel pole, and then he gets curb stomped twice, and that's enough to put him out of action, really? Like, I know that's probably an above average, beat down. That's more punishment than you would take in a normal match or a brawl. But come on, really? That's going to put him out of action? That's weak. It should be more brutal if you're going to actually put him out of action. Like Orton getting beat down, that was a legitimate thing to put him out of action. But this was not a legitimate thing to put him out of action. Then Paige defeats what's her name? Alicia Fox. I just write the last names down here. Alicia Fox. That's her name. I don't even give a shit about the Divas division anymore, so I don't even know their fucking names anymore. This was a boring match that I didn't give a shit about. I mean, who really gave a shit about it? Even the hometown crowd of Paige was fucking sleeping, fucking didn't even give a shit. Yeah, a little bit of a pop there for Paige in their entrance, but who really gave a shit about Paige, in this match? Not maybe who gave a shit about Paige, but who gave a shit about this match? Nobody, not even the hometown crowd. So I'll give this match a half star out of 5, just a boring match that nobody really cared about. Then we get this retarded Rusev Championship celebration, where we get this fucking jobber, probably just an actor, like, oh, here's your message from President Putin. Yeah, like President Putin gives a shit about fake wrestling, They're acting like Putin's giving him all these medals and shit. It's like, no, he's not. I mean, it's obviously fake. It's obviously, Putin doesn't care about this shit. It's pretty stupid. It's pretty dorky too. While they're taking it seriously, like I find it pretty comical how they're actually doing this. And then they start singing the national anthem, and then Sheamus comes out. I'm like, I'm not a big fan of like the national anthem or anything. Like, I think it's overrated and shit. Same thing with the flag too. I think it's overrated, and the message behind it's overrated. But it's supposed to be an act of just you're a horrible person if you throw the flag on the ground or act bad during the national anthem or disrupt the national anthem. But it's okay for us to do it to Russia. It's just Sheamus and the Big Show are supposed to be the baby faces, but they do things that if Rusev did to us, we would demonize him for. So it doesn't make any sense, and they're like, oh, we're sorry. Well, they're just going to keep doing shit like this that they claim it's offensive and keep saying sorry. I mean, who's the real heel in the situation? Is it Sheamus or is it Rusev? I would have thought it was Sheamus, you know, or at least they're both heels. I mean, come on, just stupid. It's like act like a baby face. Don't interrupt the national anthem. I mean, it's deemed disrespectful to interrupt the national anthem, and if Rusev did it, you would say, oh, that's disrespectful. So I mean, it's just stupid in my opinion. Then Rusev defeats Sheamus in a pretty fucking boring match, just dragged out, you know, just a brutal fucking match, just sitting through fucking 15 minutes of torture here. Like, you don't even give a shit who wins. Rusev's a fucking fat ass, can't even fit the fucking belt around his waist, that's how fat he is. Slow as hell pretty much in the ring. Sheamus, I mean, not much better, so he's probably even worse. Just stale. Staler than the fucking 2-year-old bread I left in my fucking basement. It's just fucking retarded with Sheamus. He's just so boring and stale and just horrible. And this match was horrible. I give it a half star out of 5. There's also some interference from the Authority, which, who the fuck cares? Then we get Sandow, or Mizdow, my bad, Mizdow, and the Miz defeating the Matadors. It was a boring match. Didn't really care. You know, they got the fucking little guy dressed up as a guy, as a misfit, I guess, if you would call him. I mean, I guess it was all right, you know, with the little guy or whatever. He was doing a pretty shitty job of imitating the Miz, though, I gotta say. And you didn't really get anything of Sandow, like, imitating anything, so, I mean, you didn't get any excitement there, and the match itself was boring. And yeah, Miz picked up I believe Miz got the pinfall. Just a boring match, again, that I didn't really care about too much. I mean, the Matadors are just fucking retards. Why don't you go run with the fucking Bulls in fucking Spain or wherever the fuck that is and get the hell out of WWE? Yeah, you know, it's a great idea. Go run with the Bulls and get fucking run over. You know, put El Torito in there and he'll get fucking trampled. Just fucking get him out of my life. They're so fucking annoying. Can't even believe they made it this long. With the fucking ole, ole, ole. It's stupid. It's retarded. Whoever made this gimmick is fucking retarded, and whoever thought it would succeed is retarded. And whoever is a part of this gimmick and supported and creative, in my opinion, deserves to be at least reprimanded, if not fired. Then we get Ziggler and Mark Henry ending in a disqualification. It was like a 3-minute match, boring. There was a few botches in here too, I believe. At least one, I think. Just not good at all. I mean, just a sloppy ass match, man. I mean, it's just bad. You know, you expect better things from Ziggler, but when you got a guy like Henry in there, I mean, there's not much you could really do. So it's really hard to fault Ziggler in this situation. I mean, Henry's one of those guys which I've been harping on for a long time now. He's got to retire. I made this comment. He's in the fucking segment with the Authority, and he's already like dripping sweat at the beginning of Raw. You know, like it's like a lot of these guys I see they're like in a talking segment and they're like dripping sweat. Like a lot of them, like their shirts I believe are just soaked. You know, like fucking Seth Rollins comes down to the ring. He's like he's so oiled up. His hair is just fucking dripping. It's like ridiculous. But that's a side issue, which isn't really important. But yeah, and then Big Show also comes down and joins Team Cena. Really, I mean, this is great. We're gonna get Big Show on. Oh, remember last year's main event Big Show was in? Yeah, that was a really great main event there. You know, a really great main event. And I think that might have been the best main event I've ever seen in my life. Big Show versus Randy Orton. Glad we get to see Big Show again. You know, in a top tier match. Yeah, let's not put talented guys like a Tyson Kidd in it. Let's just keep putting the same fucking old motherfucking fat asses like Big Show in it. Yeah, it's very logical. Then we get, we got these weird ass segments too where like, I believe it was like Kofi and Xavier Woods are like singing with a bunch of 50-year-old black virgins. Like, is this what they were doing for the past? Because remember they did that thing with Biggie Langston, Kofi Kingston, and Xavier Woods, where they fucking, you know, were this group or whatever. Then they just disappeared. So they might have been hanging out with some 50-year-old black people, black virgins, just doing whatever the fuck. You know, I don't fucking know. Like, what the fuck is going on? They're singing with some 50-year-old ugly-ass black people. Like, what's going on here? What the fuck's going on? And the catchphrase they use, it's like, what was it? Something. It was a retarded ass guy. Like that this company is doomed if they keep doing retarded shit like this. They're singing and dancing. It's like, what's going on? Like, what am I watching? Am I watching? Is this supposed to be legitimate or is this supposed to be a joke? Because either way, it fucking sucks. And then to make matters worse, we get an announcement that this grumpy cat. They're like, oh, he's well known. I don't know. Who the fuck's Grumpy Cat? What the fuck is this? Yeah, I'm very grumpy watching this fucking show. Grumpy. Who the fuck? Somebody tell me who Grumpy Cat is in the comments. If you know, you probably don't even know. Like, what are we gonna have, a fucking motherfucking cat on fucking Raw? Like, what the fuck is this gonna? They couldn't find anybody better than a motherfucking cat to have on the episode of Raw. This company is fucking so shitty. Vince McMahon, you really think that having a cat on Raw is gonna be entertaining? They should have brought a fucking gorilla on Raw and put it against Ryback. That was just off the top of my head, too. Ryback versus a big giant gorilla. How about that? Or Mark Henry versus a gorilla. I'm just trying to think of things. Or you could have I got an idea. You could have a race between Mark Henry, the Big Show, and a sloth. How about that one for you? Or a snail. There you go. A sloth, a snail, Mark Henry and the Big Show have a race. See who wins. How about that one for you? I got some great ideas here, and I could head up WWE right now. Just ideas are just flowing off my head right now, flowing out of my brain. It's ridiculous, Vince McMahon bringing a fucking cat to Raw. This is just fucking mind blowing. Then we get Tyson Kidd defeating Adam Rose. And just another boring match. Give it a star out of 5. And after the match, Rose is like distracted by the bunny, or before he's distracted by the bunny or something. Or the bunny was trying to interfere. Rose stopped him, and then I think he got rolled up or something. And then Rose kicks the bunny. It's like, if you're gonna attack the bunny and turn heel, then go full out. Go full out. Don't do this fucking just one shove or one kick. Full out, just fucking put him through tables, hit him with a steel chair over the head, make him bleed all over the place, fuck him up. Just don't do this fucking one kick. So then we get the main event, Cena versus Ryback, and everybody loves Ryback now. Everybody's going crazy about Ryback. The big guy. All of a sudden, he's this big thing. He's this, why? Like, he was injured. When he got injured, he was a jobber. Then he comes back, and there's this, he got a decent pop there when he came back. I understand he's back. He did cut a good promo there at the hospital. I understand. But what's the big thing about Ryback now? How has he changed? Why is he on top? He's been back for like 3 weeks, and he's in the fucking main event. I don't get it. I don't get it at all. Why is he in the motherfucking main event of Monday Night Raw 3 weeks back from his injury, and before that he was like a jobber? So I don't get it. It's not like he's shown any talent at all. People are just chanting for him still. I don't see what's so different from him. So he fucking has a fucking just boring match with Cena. I think he gave it a half star out of 5, just boring. Then the Authority, of course, another disqualification finish. And then the Authority starts beating up everybody. And then Ryback comes in and attacks everybody and, just shell shocks. I think he shell shocked Kane or something. Just, pretty much destroys everybody. But why is Ryback getting this big spotlight all of a sudden? What's so good about Ryback? Ryback sucks. That's going to be the title of this Raw review. Raw review, whatever. Ryback sucks. Because he does. I mean, he's not good, So this show fucking sucked. You had one good promo there at the beginning. Everything else was pretty shitty. Ryback still sucks. The company still sucks. Grumpy Cat sucks. Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods and their 50-year-old black virgins suck. Vince McMahon sucks. This whole company is just a disaster right now. They really gotta change things up and make this shit more entertaining. They're just gonna keep losing more money. So overall, I'll give this show like a 1.1 star out of 10. It was pretty bad. So there you go, people.